Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on some storage for paint. Now it's not the usual nerd vlog, but here I am actually outside in the sun. Just waiting for the Primaris marine stuff to dry. I've got some basing going on there, so the PVA is drying, and I figured I'd be productive in the interim. So I'm out here with me and Mr. Dog, that's Nugget, and we got a couple of dangerous tools here, and we're going to work on our containers for these little bastards here. So I've got a loose plan as to what I'm going to be doing. They're going to be 9 by 7, and of course I got my extra measurements in there as well, but I should be able to fit quite a bit of these guys and be able to stack them up. So without further ado, let's get going. So my neighbor decided to swing by, see what I was up to, wondering why I was talking into a camera. So I actually put him to work, explained what I was doing. Said this is for my nerd tutorials here. So yeah. So anyway, so he came in and helped me out with this, making sure that I got all the boards cut. So I'm essentially just cutting the bottoms of the 9 by 7 paint trays. And here he is. He's not scared of a saw that could kill him, but he's sure terrified of the vacuum. And now I'm just doing the final cuts to get that wonderful 7 by 9 measurement, which is going to hold all the glorious paint. Keeping my fingers intact, kind of nice. Okay, so I've got 8 of the 7 by 9 boards cut, and looking pretty good. I just got to measure up the sides now. Now, obviously, the cutting isn't perfect because, you know, I'm imperfect. And but at the end of the day, these should be a good base for our painting boxes. Okay, so the goal is to have the boxes stack on top of each other. So you'll see here I've got the thickness of the plywood, and so I put the paint pot on that. And then looking at our measurements, it looks like we're falling in at exactly 2-ish inches. So maybe I'll go 2 inches and I'll be able to see the tops of them. Setback time. I don't think I have enough materials to make 8. I think I just have enough with my junker plywood to make 6. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop up 2 of my boards, and I'm going to guarantee that this is enough to make 6 as opposed to hoping it makes 8. I'm pretty sure it won't make 8, so I'm just going to make sure I get a good solid 6. So we're rolling with it. I don't need that much clutter anyway, so I'm good. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so I've mapped it all out now, and we're just on the money. I mean, we're talking like halves of inches away. So I'm going to be doing my lateral cuts now, and of course I'm using my handy dandy brace so I don't lose any fingers, and the lines are straight, and I'm getting close to putting it all together. Assembly time coming up. Okay, next up we're going to take a small bead of glue and join these guys in with glue like this. So I'll get the bead of glue going on all of these, and then I'll clamp it together with all of our goodies there, and I'm just going to tack it in with the air gun. Okay, now I'm just going to tack in the bottoms of our boxes here. So just working my way to the center out, obviously. Make sure that things are good. Okay, so now we're done. We got the 6 all finished, and I didn't know how many paints we were going to hold. I was assuming about 30, 35, something like that, and it was in fact 35. Obviously I didn't fill it all the way to the end because I can get my fingers in and grab a paint, whichever one I need, and they stack up super nice. So next up is going to be sanding, and then a little bit of a black finish, and then I'm going to clear coat it so that it matches the black Ikea desk that I have in the office. So pretty stoked, actually, looking really, really good. And that's like a metric ton of paint. So obviously I can use it for other stuff as well. Maybe if I run out of paints to fill it up with, I'll throw all my tools in one and all that. And they should stack really nicely on my cheapy Ikea bookshelves that I have in the office. Woohoo! Pretty stoked. Okay, we're back, and now we're doing some sanding. You can see here I've got 2 different grades of sanding spongy thingamadoos here. This guy is about 120 grit on one side, 180 on the other side, and then this guy is a 200 and then a 220 on the other side. So it starts to get pretty soft after that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to work my way around and just sand all the different pieces to get rid of all that kind of edging, and immediately it looks a lot sharper, a little bit nicer. You don't get all the burring and all that in there as well. So I'm just going to work my way around, and obviously if there's any kind of extra little bits and pieces here, I'll just keep sanding that until it's all flush and flat with the major with the lower grit, and then I'll just work my way up, going all around, hopefully getting to a nice kind of finished piece. So my friend Steve put a storm bolter on a veteran guard sergeant a long time ago, and he said it's a bit like polishing a turd to give that extra little bit of value to a guardsman who's going to just die in a second. And the ironic part is I'm sanding plywood, which is a bit like polishing that turd. It smells good though. Alright, so looks really good. I'm really liking the way it's turned out. It feels nice, there's no burrs, it's got nice soft edges and all that. So now I'm going to hit it with a black paint, probably just like a couple coats of like a all-in-one primer and spray paint. I could paint it by a brush, but I think I'm just going to spray this one because I'm going to clear coat the crap out of it anyway, and it's just a utility type thing. So looking really good so far, nice smooth edges, awesome. All right, we are done. Now I'm going to give it another day to fully dry, but the clear coat's on, the black is done. I like that you can still see the grain in it a little bit too. I mean, for plywood, it's not too bad. So, looking forward to finishing off the remaining 5, and we'll load up all the paints. You can see here that the Vallejo paints all fit really nice. The GW paints fit really nice as well. And yeah, looking forward to getting these guys all finished up and stacked up, and really happy with the results. So a little bit of a different video, I guess, but hobby extends more beyond just the models themselves. And I'm really happy about kind of getting things a little more organized and constantly moving forward. I think that's a main part of the hobby for me as well. So like I said, a little bit of a different video, but hopefully it was of value to you guys. So if you liked the video, obviously let me know in the description below, and we'll do more of this type of stuff if it comes up. And obviously if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do that, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.